Hey guys, welcome back to the Comic Book Lowdown. I'm Wellington. Bringing you guys a super video today, because I still have yet to put up my reviews from last week's books, and this week's books are out, and I'm kind of a day late on that, even though I just got my books today, but you guys see what I'm saying. So, therefore, I'm just gonna do both in the same video. Gonna do my this week's haul second, and my reviews from last week first. So check the description for timestamps, because I'm going to first review the books. So you'll see those timestamps for those. If you want to see a certain review, click on the timestamp, go right to it. If you don't, I have a timestamp where I start showing off this week's haul. You can go straight to that, and then so you can choose what you want to watch, or you can watch the whole thing. It's all good. Whatever you want to do is fine by me, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna review these books, and I'm going to review them with spoilers, since I'm a week late on this. So so we're gonna start now with Marvel Knights Spider-Man issue number 505. And this is going to be the last mini I pick up for a while. Just because minis are getting a little too hectic for me. They're taking up spots on my pull that I could have reserved for full-time books. So this is going to be my last mini. And it's kind of a bad way to go out for miniseries, because this book as a whole wasn't worth it. The story wasn't worth it. It was too weird. The ending wasn't satisfying enough for the wait. The art was good art, but again, it was too crazy, so I couldn't even really appreciate it. I could only appreciate it on its aesthetic value, but there was no cohesiveness to it. There's no action to it besides, just it looked like what a cacophony of noises would sound like. That's how I can explain the art in this book as a whole. As this issue by itself, it was the best issue of the 5, but that's not saying much. That's only because we finally find out who's behind Peter Parker kind of being in this madhouse of things, and it was Kingpin. It was actually Kingpin's son. This whole plan to kind of test Spider-Man. It was dumb. It was dumb. The ending wasn't satisfying at all. Just Peter embracing Mary Jane. Yeah, it was. This book wasn't good. It was dumb. Next book, which actually surprised me why it's so low, but because I had expected great things from it, but at the same time, I can understand why it's low. This is Swamp Thing issue 28. I had expected this to be my pick of the week, but it's really because of this. Who is Capucine? Which means that this was just this book had me. This book was really good for the first bit of it, where kind of we're seeing the aftermath of, what Swamp Thing's actions have done when he kind of closed off the Green, but then he saved a couple of the avatars that had helped him out, things like that. That was all cool, and I was loving what they were doing. There's a funny bit of them at Mardi Gras, which was awesome. But then we start getting to Capucine's backstory, and I started getting so bored. It was such a boring backstory. And that's how this book closed out, really. And then there was some kind of thing happening at the end of the issue, which I can't really even spoil because I don't really know what it's all about. The first bit of this book is good, but then it dies out when we start getting to this backstory stuff. I was honestly getting sleepy because it was just boring. So that's Swamp Thing 28. Next book, which is pretty good, Green Arrow, issue number 28. Get a little more in detail about Oliver's dad being alive this whole time, and Oliver finding out, and he's pissed, as you can imagine. And then there wasn't much that happened in this book either. Maybe if I look through it, because again, I'm sorry that if I'm not remembering things totally, because I've been reading this over a couple days. But again, this was actually just a lot of backstory as well as to where Oliver's dad's actually been and what he's been doing and what his whole plan was this whole time for Oliver, and why he put Oliver through all of that. Turns out that Oliver's dad was actually the person who tortured him on the island, which is pretty crazy, especially when it just came out like that. When I read it, I was like, okay, but saying it, definitely something else. I feel like I've heard this somewhere else, and it's starting to get to me now as well. I'm getting a little tired of this art style by Andrea Sorrentino. It's not bad. It's just, sometimes it can get a little unclear as well, and I really like to have my stuff clear, like clearly what I'm looking at. And this stuff starts to get unclear at points. What was the real big point of this book is what happens at the end. And again, since I'm doing spoilers, be ready. Komodo, he pretty much takes over the Outsiders. He kills, forgot the guy's name. He kills the leader of the Spear Clan. If you guys already know his name off the top of your head, I can't remember it. Yeah. I cannot remember. Might be here. Sorry about this, guys. I can't remember his name. Golgotha. That's his name. He kills Golgotha and takes over the Outsiders. And so the Outsiders War is actually going to finally start. Pretty much. Hopefully. I want this book to, catch me in already. Because everybody was talking about how good it was in the last arc. And I'm not seeing that yet. And I've been picking it up for a couple of issues now. I want to see that. And it's not come up yet, but I still have faith. I like the Green Arrow character, but I'm not sure if this is the Green Arrow character that I like. This new 52 one. But I'll keep picking it up. This next book was actually better than I thought it was going to be. This was Captain America issue number 16. There's a lot of surprises in this week. But anyways, this is all about Jet Black, and when she's with Captain America, you get the sense that she's okay with having betrayed Zola, her father. But this gives us an insight on what she's thinking when she's not with Captain America, and she's out and about in the world, and she's really just. It seems like she's really feeling bad that she went with Captain America, because she sees everything that's happening in New York, and she's disgusted by it, and she thinks that under her father's rule things would be a lot better. And while she's going through all these things, um, she gets met up with somebody and who says that they're a friend or an old friend of Zola's, and so she starts talking with that guy. Sorry, guys. She starts talking with that guy, and he brings her to some place, and it turns out that the Red Skull is in New York, and so there's some cool stuff gonna happen soon with Red Skull. It's gonna build up, of course, because we got this arc with the Iron Nail still going, and somebody called Mind Bubble gonna be coming up in the next issue. But after that, we're gonna have some Red Skull stuff, which is pretty cool. So yeah, Captain America, issue number 16, which is also issue number 1, I guess. It was a really cool issue, actually, and the art in it was great. It was, I think it was a different artist than who's been on the book lately, so that was cool. And then the pick of the week, the only book that was gonna be able to contend with Swamp Thing, and or that I had in my mind that was gonna contend with Swamp Thing, where in fact 3 books went ahead of it. But this book was definitely pick of the week worthy, and that was Superior Foes of Spider-Man, issue number 8. This book is just, I had said before when I reviewed this book last that I love how they're kind of gonna be focusing on other characters as well in this book, since the last issue was Beetle based. It was all about her. But when they focus on Boomerang, Fred Myers, those are the better issues in my opinion. They're funnier. They're more appealing. Just when his page presence is just better than the other characters, because he's the one with the plan all the time. And so in this issue, we got him being tortured by Chameleon and things like that, and he brushes it off, and he admits that he's a supervillain to the girl he's trying to get with, that bartender. And she's cool because she's just like, I hate that you're doing this, but if you're gonna do it, you might as well try to be the best at doing what you're doing. And we get some stuff with Shocker in here because we haven't seen him in a while, and he's actually got the head of Silvio Silvermane, and there's some funny stuff happening with all that. And then all the while, Beetle, Speed Demon, and Overdrive they're on like a manhunt for Boomerang because they know that he set him up. So a lot of stuff going on in here, and at the end of this issue, where we're having like a nice moment between Boomerang and the girl that I can't remember her name, so I'm just gonna call her the girl he's trying to get with. They're having a good moment and stuff, and while that they're getting a kiss in, we just see like the scope, like a sniper scope, just aiming on his head, and then we turn the page and we see a character with a gun that I was not expecting to see, first of all, in this book, and just in general for a very long time. And that character was Bullseye. So that was really cool. I mean, I gotta even look at it again myself to make sure I saw Bullseye, because, yeah, it is Bullseye. Bullseye is in this book. Things are gonna get super interesting in the next issues to come up, because when you got Bullseye in a book, things start getting interesting. Especially because he was in a pretty immobile state when last seen in Daredevil, so we'll see what happens there. But anyways, guys, that's the review section of this video. We got all the reviews from last week's books out of the way. Now we're going to transition to the now we're going to transition to the haul section of the video, and we'll start off with, I've only got 3 books this week, so hopefully I can get the review out soon enough. But let's just handle the haul side first. So 1 DC, 2 Marvels. So we'll start with the Marvel. This is Superior Spider-Man issue number 1, over issue number 27, which is a really cool cover actually. And oh, somebody else is on art too. Check that out. 27. This goblin thing is underway, definitely. The next Marvel book, and the one that takes the cake for cover of the week, even though it's kind of disgusting. Deadpool issue number 23. That is an awesome cover. Just gotta admire that cover. That is good art on this book. And I can't wait to read this book because I love Deadpool. And then the final book for this week, which I'm kind of confused about. I don't know what's going on, honestly. This is Batman 28. I don't know if this is continuing from Zero Year or what, because they got a secret glimpse into Batman Eternal. And we got James Tynion on here and no Greg Capullo. I don't know what's going on with this book. I actually gotta take a look through here. I haven't even surfed through the book yet. Yeah, I don't know what this book is about, honestly. If they're taking a 0-year break or what's happening, honestly, I have no idea. I have no idea what this book is, and why they are doing this in the actual Batman book. But I think it's a wrong move if this isn't 0 year, which it didn't look like it was 0 year affiliated. I think it's a bad move to just put that in the regular Batman book, without any 0 year Batman story in it. But it's not my call, so it's probably not Scott Snyder's call either. It's probably just DC being like, hey, we're gonna do this instead. So yeah, that's it. That's a pull. I really want to watch you guys' videos, but I'm making no promises to watch many videos because I try to and it never gets done. So I'm going to try, but if I don't, very sorry. One last thing before I go though. Check out Reader 1717's contest that she's doing to try to help save Rachel Rising. Her link to that video will be in the description. So check it out and help her out, share it, do whatever you can do for her because it's important to her, and I want to help her out because she's a friend, as I would help anybody else in the community. So yeah, so that's it from me, guys. I'm Wellington signing off with Comic Lowdown. See you guys next time.